Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I have today in my shop another cream puff. Look at this 2012 Toyota Highlander hybrid. Look how clean she is. The interior, it's basically like brand new, minus this. I'm not sure what happened there, if somebody cut it. But everything else, guys, absolutely beautiful. This vehicle is new to the current owner. They bought this approximately, what, a year ago or 6 months ago, something like that. So not only it's washed, it's limited. It's the first scuff from the parking lots. Not only it's so clean, but it's inside. Look at these seats again, beautiful, high quality from Toyota. Nice touch, smells very good, smells like a new vehicle. It was obviously perfectly upkept. It came for engine oil and filter change plus the filters. At 110,000 miles, it doesn't have any problem as we can expect. Beautiful wheels. Again, like new, everything looks like new. The owner, when we were talking outside, said, unfortunately, I hit some big pothole. And I hit it with the front passenger side. So when I drive, I sometimes hear some noises from the front. Will you please check it? So before taking it in shop, I went on the test drive on the areas which will test that suspension and steering. There is a bunch of patches on the road for rattling everything, and also where there are like a steep changes between the parking lot and road. I personally didn't hear anything suspicious or unusual, so I put it on the lift. I did an engine oil and filter change, that's done. And let's go look what needs to be checked and basically what I have found. To start, you basically need to check the rims on outside and inside and check for the play in the steering and the bearings that all could be damaged by hitting some nasty potholes. So let's start here so we have comparison with the other side and see if we can find any problems. And you know how it works. 3 and 9 will be for steering, so I'm trying to feel any play. The steering is electric, there's no more power steering pump, it's not hydraulic. There's absolutely zero play, so the steering rack, inner rod, outer rod should be totally fine because there's nothing. If I grab it 12 and 6, that will be for bearing play. Absolutely nothing, perfection. Now if the rim hit some really nasty pothole, it could be damaged. So basically what you're just looking, any reference, you look at the tire also, right? So it can be here. You can see if it's bumping because the tire can be damaged too. You are looking on that one spot and try to see if it's bouncing up and down, because when you really damaged the rims, and I saw them in the past, it will be really, there will be that bump in it. This one seems to be fine. Of course, this is just to compare. Yeah, this is absolutely perfect. She said it was on the other side. So let's go and see here. And I'm watching this edge, and I don't think there is any bump as it rotates. Also, the tire seems to be fine. Let's do the same here. I will watch this edge. So purely visual without using balancing machine and so on. I will say there's no really extreme visible problem with either tire or the rim. Steering. Perfect, no problem. Bearing. No problem. So no wonder I didn't hear anything. There's nothing obvious to me here, right? You think everything's fine. And again, lower control arm, mounts, CV axles, strut, everything could be affected by hitting some nasty pothole. Sway bar and link, not really, but sure. I don't see any damages here again. She said it was on the other side. And voila! I'm not sure what you see, excuse me, but I see oil. I see everything wrapped in the oil. Let's go get a light. So this is back to the driver's side, which we are comparing with. Everything's fine right here, isn't it? Well, we have a problem, Houston. Look how everything is shiny here. I don't have oil on the rim yet. Oh no, not true. This rim is clean. This rim is also contaminated. So we have oil on the rim. You see it hopefully. We have shiny bottom of the strut. The brake line has some kind of oil, and I'm looking up there. The bottom of the strut is totally wet, and I actually see the bump stop. Can you see there? The bump stop, it's completely wrapped in the oil. So this strut shock, at minimum, that will be a problem. That strut shock is leaking. It couldn't handle the impact. It broke. Something is bad with it. It's leaking oil. And this will need to be more inspected and replaced. I made recently video for you. It was also Highlander. Non-hybrid. I think it was 13, this is 12. And we discussed how Toyota sells these struts. They don't sell the whole unit. You can only buy the parts. Every single part is available. And I believe we priced it together in that video. And the one strut was, with tax and everything, something like $700. So that was pretty insane. Obviously, there are aftermarket options. Let's just remember, I cannot buy one aftermarket Monroe strut, because that strut is fully assembled with the coil spring and everything. And I guarantee the action of the strut will be not the same. As it pumps and as it even sits with the load, there's possibility the vehicle will be slightly off, and also the way suspension will work this is not the option. So if you want to go aftermarket and you want to save the money, or you think you will save the money, you have to buy both, left and right. Those Monroes are approximately at this moment $200. We said this whole thing, it's approximately $700. But you are introducing on the beautiful cream puff. You will be putting aftermarket stuff. So I will have to create 2 estimates for the owner, and they will see what they will decide. So I need to look at this and see what parts can be actually saved. So if that whole spring, it's not cracked or damaged or bent, and most likely it's not, that can be saved. But you have to be careful that you recognize what parts are okay and what are not, because you don't want to order these people back. Tell them, hey, I have all the parts ready, and that at the end you will take it apart. You need to use the compression press to disassemble it, otherwise that will kill you. That spring, it's under the load. You never can open it without compressing the spring from 2 different sides. So the labor to rebuild it, it's way more expensive than just buying the struts. However, let's go and look together on that leakage here. I believe you will see it better, and let's hope it's only the strut itself, which is the shock. Right, so this is the shock. It's this metal part, it's all welded together, and that's what is filled with that oil, and it's leaking because most likely it got bent. I can see how shiny it is because it's full of oil right there. So this spring can be saved. The belows are gone in the pieces, so that should be ordered. And unfortunately, all these things, when you start putting together that estimate, it just gets worse and worse. So you have basically the upper mount, then there is a bearing, there is a bump stop, there are these billows, and spring, and the spring rubber buffer, so it's not making any noises. Let's lower this area and look if that rubber is okay and it can be saved. I managed to wedge that light there. So these are the billows. That's junk, but whatever. But look, this is full of oil. It's leaking actively. And it either got damaged right here, or the shaft is bent slightly. That's a bump stop. So look, for example, the bump stop, and they normally rot and they break in the pieces, and then you're finding here the orange parts are sitting here. That's normal, but this bump stop is pretty good. But that's like a cheapest item on that entire estimate. So due to the age and so on, it's probably better buy a new one, but purely theoretically, no need. This rubber, as we just discussed, I will need to clean it right here, but I think it's savable. Obviously the bearing which is inside and is hidden, I cannot show it to you. That may be the item which got hit, and I have to order that without any questions. So now comes question on you. With those prices which I just discussed, of the hip, I didn't do the estimate yet. I was waiting for the evaluation of the damage. But of the hip, roughly, the price to fix one OEM Toyota strut, parts labor, will be roughly the same, like putting 2 new Monroes, again, parts and labor. What you will do, you are Toyota owner, what you will do, shop tells you, hey, here is the price, you make the choice. So I would like to hear from you. Are you that OEM fanatic? And by no means you will ever put Monroe struts on your Highlander, 2012 Highlander? Or you absolutely don't care and you rather have 2 brand new units on both sides which match? Obviously the argument is that Monroe, same quality like that Toyota, will it last 150 or 200,000 miles without any problems? I said it has another maybe 100 or at least 50,000 miles on it. And I said it because that's what I see. I don't see very often that the strut will fail already at 100,000 miles. No, I don't see that. They roughly last like 200k. And again, it all depends how the vehicle is being used, obviously. So please share underneath the video what you will do. I hope you find this video interesting and helpful. If you do, please give it a thumb up and stay tuned. Have way more coming your way soon. Thank you for watching and have a great day, my friend.